Hey guys, welcome to Tech J. This is Devashish and you are watching C programming tutorial. In last few videos, we discussed about the basic and fundamental things of C programming. In this video, we discuss about loop function. This is very important for any C programmer to know about how this function works. Okay, so let's start. In this tutorial, we will learn to create for loop in C programming with the help of examples. In programming, a loop is used to repeat a block of code until the specific condition is met. So, in spite of rewrite the code several times, we just put code in a loop and this loop iterates several times. If I asked you to write your name 10 times, it is so much difficult because you may write printf your name, printf your name, printf your name to 10 times. But if you know the working function of for loop or any loop, so you just put a looping function and inside this you write printf your name and iterate this loop 10 times. So it's automatically print your name 10 times. So this looping function is reduce our work. So C programming has three types of loops: for loops, while loop and do while loop. Okay, so we will learn about for loop in this tutorial. In the next tutorial we will learn about while and do while. So before starting a for loop, we have to know about the syntax of for loop. So the syntax of for loop, we just write for and put a bracket, first bracket, inside the bracket three different parts. Okay, this is very important. Three different parts. In the first part we initialize, next we put the condition, and the last part we put increment or decrement operator according to our needs. So for loop syntax is starting with initialization, next condition, up to which portion we want to iterate this loop, we put the condition here, and then we put the increment and decrement. Okay, so then we put a second bracket. Inside this bracket, this is the statement part, and here is the body of for loop, or whatever we want to do several times we write in this portion. Okay, so if we write our name 10 times, so inside this part I just put printf my name is Devashish. Okay, so it's write 10 times my names. Okay, how for loop works: the initialization statement is executed only once. Okay, then the test expression or the condition is evaluated. If the test expression is evaluated to false, the for loop is terminated. So inside the condition, at first the initialization it's executed for one time. Okay, and then it's just check the condition. If this condition satisfied, it's automatically increment or decrement the initial value. Okay, then it execute the statement. If this condition satisfy, it execute the statement inside the body of for loop, otherwise it does not. However, if the test expression is evaluated to true, the statement inside the body of the for loop are executed and the update expression is updated. Okay, so the initial value or the value we initialize at the time of looping function is just increment or decrement its value if the condition is satisfied. If this condition is not satisfied, it just came out from this loop. Okay, again the test expression is evaluated. This process go on until the text expression is false. Okay, so until the condition is false, it's execute the statement or run this loop at that time until the condition is not satisfied. Okay, so when the test expression or condition false, the loop terminates. Okay, so when the condition is false, the loop is automatically terminated and came out from this loop. To learn more about the text expression, when the test expression or condition is evaluated to true or false, check the relation and logical operation. Okay, so here we put the logical operation, and here we put the initialization, that maximum time we initialize that I equals to 0 or I equals to 1. Okay, so next, here is the flowchart of for loop. Okay, so at first we initialize the expression, then it tests the expression. If this condition is true, then it come into the part of body of the loop and execute that statement and update the expression. Update the expression means it just increment or decrement the initial value. Okay, and it's come out of the loop. After executing the body part, it's come out and again run the loop until the condition is false. Okay, if the condition is not satisfied or false, it just came out of the loop and does not execute the statement or expression of the body. Okay, it just came out of this loop. So this is the flowchart. It is very simple to remember, okay, how the loop function is work. Next, to remember or know how this looping function work, we just practice this loop function with example. So in example 1, write a program to print the number 1 to 10. Okay, so we have to write a program in which we can print the number starting from 1 to 10. Okay, so just we include the header file and initialize the main function. Okay, and we declare integer variable, that is I. Actually this variable is integer type, and we put the for loop. Okay, because we want to print the number 1 to 10. So in spite of writing printf1, printf2, printf3, printf4, we just put the for loop function here, and it's automatically execute this statement printf until this condition is not satisfied. Okay, so we put for loop here and initialize I equals to 1. Okay, and then we put a condition that's until the value of I is less than equals to 10. Okay, and then we put the increment operators, that is I plus plus. Okay, so after doing or execute this statement, it's automatically increment the value of I by 1. Okay, so if the first statement is execute, suppose the value of I equals to 1 and this condition is satisfied because 1 is less than 10. Okay, so this condition is satisfied and it execute this statement because this condition is satisfied, so it just print the number, that is I. Okay, so which value it print? I. So what is the value of I? I equals to 1, and it just run this code another time and continue this loop. And now what is the value of I? It just increment by 1. So now the value of I equals to 2, and it also satisfy this condition, and in the next time it just write the value of I. Now the value of I equals to 2. Okay, so it just put the value 2. Okay, in the next line, because we use the slash n function, so after 1 it's print 2, and it's run this code for another time. This time it print 3, and then 4, then 5. In this way it print up to 10, and after print 10 the value of I it's incremented by 1 and it gets to 11. So at this time it does not satisfy this condition, that is I is less than equal to 10. So it's came out from this loop, and the looping function is closed now. Okay, and we get our result 1 to 10. Okay, so let's practice. Just open the FC. So we just write our code here, and it's time to compile. Okay, we compile. So there is no error and warnings. Okay, now run this code, and yes, it's give me 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So we get our result. So this program is successfully run, and I hope you understand how this program is work. It just initialize the value of I equals to 1, and it's print the value of I, and then increment the value of I to 2 and print the value 2, and run this code 10 times and iterate this loop 10 times, and after print 10 the value of I gets to 11, and this condition is not satisfied because we want up to 10 not 11. So it's break the condition and it came out from this loop. Okay, and we get our actual answer. Okay, the next part. So here is another example that write a program to print up to n numbers. Okay, in the previous program we just print 1 to 10. So here we just print up to n numbers. N means whatever we want the number. It may be 10, 100, 50, 1000, etc. It's up to the user. Okay, so in the same way we write this code, and just we change here we initialize another variable that is n, and put a message that enter the value of n. We get this value from the user end and store this value to the variable n. Okay, through scanf function, and iterate this function up to n. Okay, so if the user put here the value of n equals to 20, so this loop it's iterate from 1 to 20, actually 20 times. Okay, this loop iterate 20 times or run 20 times and print starting from 1 to up to n, actually 20 or whatever the user wants to print. Okay, so just see how this code will run. Okay, so I just paste here, include the header function, integer main, and here we initialize the two variable I and n. One I for the looping function and n to get the number from the user end, and printf the message to the user that enter the value of n. And after storing the value inside the n, we iterate this looping function starting from 1 to n. Okay, and print the value starting from I, that is 1 to up to n. Okay, until the condition is not satisfied. Okay, return 0, and we compile this code. Oh, here is no errors and warnings, and now run this code. Okay, so it asked me about enter the value of n. Okay, so I just put 15. Okay, so I hope it's print me from 1 to 15. Okay, to see what result it returned me. Okay, so it print from 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 to up to 15. Okay, so let's try with another number. Okay, now this time I just put 21. Okay, so it prints from 1 to 21. Okay, so here you see that the starting value is 1 and the ending value is 21. So starting from 1 to 21 all the values is here. So in this way we can print up to n numbers whatever the user wants. Okay, so the second example we successfully compile. I hope you understand the example how it is work. Okay, so came to the next part, that is example 3. Okay, this is very much important code. In this code the question is write a code to calculate the sum of the first n number. Okay, so in the last example we just print the value from 1 to n, and now here it asked me about the sum. Okay, so if the starting value is 1 and up to n, it just sum all the values. So 1 plus 2 equals to 3, 3 plus 3 equals to 6, and up to n, it give me the result of sum. Okay, so how this code will run? So I just put the header file inside the main function. I declared the two variable, one is I and one is n. This I is used for loop and n is for the user purpose to get the value up to which number it's want to sum. Okay, so we here we initialize a new variable, that is sum. Okay, so we adding the number and store the value inside this sum, and at the first time we just initialize the value of sum equals to 0 and it is integer type. Okay, and put the message to the user that enter the value of n. Okay, and putting this value or storing this value to in the variable n and iterating this function. Here the for loop is starting from 1 to up to n. At that time we are not print the value from 1 to n, we just calculating the sum value, or here we doing the operation of addition. So here is the sum variable where we put all the value of sum, and sum equals to sum plus I. So the initial value of sum equals to 0 and the initial value of I equals to 1. So at first the first time the loop is run or execute the condition, it just sum the 0 to 1. It just add the two number, that is 0 plus 1 equals to 1, and put this value to the sum. So now the value of sum equals to 1. Okay, so it's changed its value from 0 to 1, and in the next time the value of I is increased by 1, and now the value of I becomes 2. Okay, so now the value of sum equals to 1 plus 2, because the previous value of sum equals to 1 and now the present value of I equals to 2. Okay, so sum plus I, or 1 plus 2 equals to 3. 1 plus 2 equals to 3, and this value or 3 is now updated to the sum value. Okay, so now the value of sum equals to 3. Okay, so in this way this for loop is continue up to n number where this condition is not satisfied. Okay, so after that the last value or the last result or the updated value of sum, we just print the value. So the printf the sum of the first n natural number equals to modulo division of d comma sum. Okay, so just we getting the value of sum at last. Okay, because the for loop the condition, and after the for loop, when the condition is not satisfied, came out from this loop, and at least we get at the last we get the last value of sum or the actual addition value, and we display this value inside here. Okay, so now we practice this code. Okay, I just copy. Okay, here you see we include the stdio.h and integer main function. Inside the main function we declare the two variable and another variable sum equals to 0. Okay, and printf the message and put the message to for the user that enter the value of n. Okay, it just storing the value inside n and iterating the for loop from starting from 1 to n. At this time we just adding the number from 1, and at first it just add the two number, that is sum plus I. So the initial value of sum equals to 0 and initial value of I equals to 1. So it just add 0 plus 1 equals to 1 and storing the value of sum and iterating this operation up to n times, and after that when the condition is not satisfied or the expression is not satisfied, not execute the expression. Okay, so it's come out from this loop and we get our answer, and printf the sum of the first n natural number equals to modulo division of d, because it put the value of the last sum value from the sum. Okay, so we get our result. Okay, now compile this code. Okay, so here is no error. Okay, now run this code. Okay, it asked me that enter the value of n. Now in this time I just put 5. Okay, so and press enter. So the sum of first n natural number equals to 15. Okay, so how to check this number is correct or not? We know a formula that to add the number up to n natural number, that is n by 2 into the first number and the last number. Okay, so here the first number equals to 1 and the last number we put here is 5. So and the number of terms equals to 5, so 5 divided by 2 into 1 plus 5, this is equals to 15. Okay, so in this way we get the number of 15. Now we practice with another value, that enter the value of n, that is at this time we just put the value 10. Okay, so the sum of the first n natural number equals to 55. I hope you understand all these three example and code and how the for loop function work and the syntax of the for loop. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you have any doubt, please comment below. I will definitely solve your problem. And thanks for watching this video. Please like this video, share this video with your friends and subscribe my channel. Thank you.